Surveillance video showing the victims of a drive-by shooting just minutes before shots were fired, and the huge police and paramedic response just moments later. The father of one of the teenagers wounded says his son was only walking home from playing ball at this Westside park. The father also says his son only had about a mile to walk to get home last night when the shooting started.
Thankfully, the 3 teens who were wounded are expected to recover. The shooting has some neighbors, though, upset and shaken. It happened on Lexington Avenue near Lakeshore Boulevard at about 7 o'clock last night. The father of one of the boys spoke with Channel 4's Francesca Amaker, who is joining us now live. Fran.
Mary, Tom, this father says his son has never had an issue and always goes to this park to play football or basketball. Never had a problem, but now this is an incident that JSO has to get to the bottom of. So he goes to the park all the time?
Yeah, I mean, they play sports.
They play sports at the park, and all of a sudden they're walking by last night, and what happens?
And they got shot. Somebody shot at them.
It happened just a couple of homes down from this one, when 3 teen boys were shot by a passerby. One of the teens was a 16-year-old who was shot in the leg. Through a cracked door, his father told me his son had no enemies. Do they know who?
I don't know.
I know it bothers you. I'm sure you're probably very nervous.
No, not really.
So you're not nervous? But it upsets you, sir, right? The man told me his son was walking home from this park about a mile away where he often plays sports with neighborhood kids. Witnesses told police that 3 vehicles sped away after the shooting, but there was one digital witness that may have caught part of the shooting on camera.
It's this one right here coming around the corner. You see a single headlight. Don't know if it's a vehicle or a motorcycle, but he pulls up and stops. And then he's out of frame. The teens that were shot were also out of frame. And according to the incident report, witnesses saw a motorcycle, an SUV, and a sedan speed off. Minutes later, the cameras capture fire and rescue on the road. Here they come. That's at 737, they appear. The 16-year-old's father told me his son is doing just fine, but neighbors say they are still shaken up. Does it alarm you that this type of thing happened right outside? I'm sure it would alarm anybody. You see it on the news all the time, but when it happens in your neighborhood and it hits close to home, of course, it's reason for cause. Now, coming up at 11 o'clock, I actually speak with our crime and safety analyst, and he gives me his advice for the teenagers, tells them to cooperate with police. We also speak to some neighbors who say, hey, it's time to get out of here. They're moving. And also, if you know anything about who the shooter was in this incident, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers to help out JSO. That number, 1-866-845-TIPS. Again, 1-866-845-TIPS. I'm live. Francesca Amaker, Channel 4, the local station.